Hey, we don't have a title sequence, so welcome to the first ever episode of the Kickball podcast. We've been talking about doing this for probably 2 years at this point, and we finally said screw it and sat down to record this thing. So welcome to
Yeah,
episode one.
fortunately, now that we are starting this podcast, our Wi-Fi actually makes sense because our Wi-Fi is called the Kickball Podcast.
Yeah,
And
so to the
Let's
three
not
people
let's not give out the password yet.
yeah, let's not do that. But yeah, to the three people who've been over and wondered why the heck our Wi-Fi is called that, this is why.
Yeah.
Welcome to the joke.
The YouTube channel to which this is currently on was made December 9th, 2018. So it's almost the 2-year anniversary.
It's almost 2 years. Okay, cool. All right, let's not waste any more years and get started.
by the way, we have 5 subscribers, so click subscribe.
Subtle
none of our alt accounts.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Much appreciated for the
All right.
channel.
So we'll jump right into this. For those of you who are new, welcome. Good to have you. We'll introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Eric. I played soccer growing up. I am the Kick, part of the Kickball podcast. As you can see from my shirt, support Arsenal. So I will accept your condolences in the comments. It's been a rough year. Yeah, so we'll go through. The other two guys will introduce themselves, get a little bit on their background, and talk about their favorite teams, and then we'll jump right into the stuff that we actually want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I am unfortunately an Angels, Clippers, and Arizona Cardinals fan. Favorite players: DeAndre Jordan. Wish he was still a Clipper because they need defense down low. Was a big fan of Blake Snell for the Rays, and then Steve Nash, probably my favorite basketball player of all time. And then Henry.
So yeah, I'm Henry Jones. Sports, I've played baseball pretty much all my life, up until college where I did club for a little bit. Based on my hat, you can see, pretty big Red Sox fan. Memphis Grizzlies, my NBA team. A couple of my favorite players across sports: Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, some of the all-time great Red Sox players. Love Zach Randolph, Zebo from the Grizzlies, even though he kind of sucks now.
Isn't he retired now?
That's the point.
Maybe he played for the Kings last time, though, right?
No, that was like 2 years ago.
That was the last time I've
Okay.
been to an NBA game.
Okay,
Oof.
yeah, but yeah. That's basically who I am, or at least part of who I am.
So speaking of NBA, should we just jump right in, talk some NBA
Let's do
off
it.
season because
Yeah.
some things happened recently.
Yeah,
There was some news.
yeah. I mean, the draft, the off season, pretty much just took place in a matter of like 2.5 weeks, and then training camp started. I think yesterday was the first official practice for most teams. Opening day is on the 22nd,
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't know.
the college has been back playing. It's like basketball's back.
Yeah. I mean, we got a bunch of point guards kind of on the move. We've got
Yeah, tons of point guard trades.
the Russell Westbrook for John Wall trade.
Hot stove stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly hope that trade that Russell Westbrook continues to be very good in Washington. I discovered recently that I'm going to accidentally become a Wizards fan because I like Gonzaga. So Rui Hachimura is your friend and mine.
Dude, you change favorite basketball teams like every year.
I don't have a favorite basketball
I can't keep
team.
track at this point.
I don't have. That's the thing. I never had a favorite basketball team, so I just root for players that I like. So yeah, Washington's got Rui, obviously a Gonzaga guy. Got a pull for him, and they just drafted Denny Avdia, who I like for absolutely no reason. I've seen like 3 highlights, and I'm like, I like this dude. So yeah, now the Wizards have Russell Westbrook. So I hope that he continues to be good for the Wizards, mostly because I want Rui. I want Rui to have some success.
Westbrook and coach Scott Brooks are reuniting. They were together with the Thunder when they had Durant, Harden, Westbrook.
Yeah, when the Thunder had
Ibaka.
Thunder had 3 All-Stars and won 0
3 MVPs.
championships. Oh yeah, 3 MVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made one finals
Yeah.
only to be destroyed by LeBron and the Heat.
Yeah.
Was it really that lopsided?
It was
pretty sure
4-1.
Okay.
It was best of 5, but like
That's not super close.
I mean, the Heat made the NBA Finals the previous year, so they're bound to win that series.
Yeah. John Wall with the Rockets. Him and DeMarcus Cousins are teammates again.
I did not realize
back-
DeMarcus Cousins was a Rocket.
He's on a training camp contract.
Oh, dude, what the hell happened?
It's the same reason John Wall is probably on the Rockets because neither of them have played in the last like 2
What
seasons.
even are the Rockets at this point? Like
James Harden.
They just traded Russell Westbrook just to get John Wall. We don't know they're getting out of him.
Harden.
We don't even know if James Harden's going to be on the Rockets next year.
I was gonna say, do you guys think they trade James Harden?
I don't think they want to because I don't think there's going to be anything that would be worth trading James Harden.
I mean, we all know they're not going to win the West next year. That's going to come down to the
They
Warriors.
weren't going to win the West ever.
They're probably an 8 seed at best, and that's just because Harden can carry them to wins. They have a decent supporting cast around him, but John Wall has to prove that he's a star again. Got Cousins, who knows if he's going to play. Christian Wood and Eric Gordon are decent role players, but they're not playoff starters.
Yeah, plus they just traded away Rocco. No, Rocco was
Rocco was traded from Houston to Portland. Right. And then
showcasing my lack of basketball knowledge.
They don't have a lot of picks. They traded all their picks to get Westbrook last year.
Yeah, I was going to ask who they drafted.
That's tough.
They traded it to Detroit.
Yeah, right.
I think that pick was Isaiah Stewart.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was.
I watched the draft. I feel like I should know this.
Yeah, I think that was the pick. There's too many pick trades to figure out exactly which one's which. I think that was. Trades. I know it was 16. I think that was Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, it was all the late stuff got traded away and got really weird.
Yeah, Detroit was a bunch of trades everywhere. They traded pretty much every pick they had twice, and then they traded Kennard to the Clippers.
Yep. Drafted Killian Hayes though.
Yeah, I think they did exactly what they wanted to do and gave him no supporting cast.
Yeah, of course. They were like, all right, it's your show.
Isn't there a guy from Gonzaga named Killian, or am I?
Killian Tilly.
Killian Tilly. He plays for your team, dude.
He got signed.
Memphis Grizzlies.
He got signed by the Grizzlies on an undrafted contract.
I knew that. I knew that.
No, you did.
To support our fandom of West Coast Conference basketball, the Grizzlies also signed another undrafted free agent, Jalil Tripp from Pacific.
Oh my god. Hey, look at that. Hey, good for Pacific. They got an NBA guy.
I probably saw him at one point in time at a USC basketball game.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I think I saw him once when they played UC Irvine and then a few times against USD. I looked it up because I was interested. He averages like 20 and 12 in the 4 games I've seen him.
Damn, okay.
Because I'm a nerd and I keep these things.
Yeah, maybe you just need to get him more of his games.
Memphis is going to fly you out to their games so that he plays well.
I'm going to become a Jalil Tripp super fan.
Oh my god, I hope not.
Yeah, but back to better basketball. The other guys changing teams earlier in the offseason. Chris Paul went to the Suns.
Oh right, that trade that everyone forgot about.
Drew Holiday's on the Bucks because another point guard who can't shoot threes is now with Giannis.
God.
Yeah.
Do they ever shoot threes?
The Bucks think it's the 1960s.
Yeah. Let's see. And then other guys.
Really important. Real important NBA trade. Ricky Rubio is back in Minnesota.
Yeah, as arguably their true point guard, but probably. I mean, D'Angelo Russell will be their point guard. It'll probably be him, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns as their main trio of the future.
Yeah, as their big 3.
Yeah, I mean, it has the potential. There's no defense in it, but it has the potential.
Cat's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying Russell isn't the greatest on defense. I mean, the last defense he did was with the Nick Young, Iggy Azalea thing from 4 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then out west where we are, the Lakers bolstered their bench. Marc Gasol's there, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell they took from the Clippers. They got rid of Dwight Howard and Rajon Rondo.
Marc Gasol, Memphis Grizzlies, great.
Yeah. And then Clippers, they wanted more defense and I think offensive versatility, so they said goodbye to Montrezl Harrell, who was a bubble liability to say the least, and they brought in Serge Ibaka. Yeah. I mean, I think they just realized they needed a guy who can not be a liability on offense while still being able to guard Jokic, Anthony Davis, Kristaps Porzingis.
Did they bring in Serge Ibaka's gigantic scarf too, or do you leave that in Toronto?
You know, it's warm in LA. I would still say yes.
Dude, there are people down here wearing down jackets when it's like 65.
That's true.
Yeah,
San
because
Diego
it's
is
San Diego, and San Diegans are weak.
yeah.
I'm a little weaker here. I've been here for 4 years, and now I'm a little like bit of a wuss for the cold weather.
I'm wearing a hoodie in Orange County indoors. But that's just
You're
because
such
I
a
want.
Californian.
It's because I want
it-
the DeAndre
is it bad?
Jordan
Baron,
jersey.
you've never seen snow.
I'm
I know.
talking.
You know what
I
snow
said-
looks like?
yeah, it's white and it's on the ground.
I'm talking mad crap, but like the AC's on in this apartment and I'm kind of cold.
You can go change it.
It's right behind the door.
I definitely could.
Yeah,
Anyway, what were we talking about? Basketball or something?
Yeah, I mean, the draft also happened. We talked about that a little bit with Killian Hayes, but
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball, him and Gordon Hayward are now teaming up in Charlotte.
That's a weird team. Dude, are the
They're-
Charlotte
I think-
Hornets ever going to be good?
I think they're relying on an all or nothing bet that LaMelo Ball will be a superstar
Which
because
is
they
probably not.
they gave $120 million to Gordon Hayward, and then they still have point guards Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier.
Right. Scary Terry.
Yeah, PJ Washington looks like a good piece for them, but if Gordon Hayward is anything close to a real number 1 or 2 option, I don't think the Hornets are going to be a real contender.
Yeah. I mean, Gordon Hayward has not. Last time Gordon Hayward was an All-Star was 2016, which was a while ago.
I was like, was he a Jazz then, or is he was he Celtics?
He was, according to Sports Reference, he was as his last year in Utah.
Okay, that makes sense.
He hasn't. Yeah. So he hasn't been an All-Star since he moved to Boston.
Yeah, I was going to say the next year he played 1 game, 5 minutes or something.
Yeah. Because he had that really bad injury,
Exactly.
which we'll
I mean,
actually
he's-
talk about a little bit later, I think.
Yeah. Another smaller news. Josh Richardson's in Dallas. They gave Luka a shooter. That was during the draft. Steven Adams was part of the Drew Holiday trade. He went from Oklahoma City to New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah. Who actually
And-
just picked up? I was reading ESPN. They picked up another center from Australia. So
Okay.
a little bit of an all Tasman center core there for
Yeah.
the Pelicans.
It'll be interesting to see how he matches with Zion because it's just not necessarily a great
True.
spacing combination. But
Yeah.
I think they're going to go a little bit out of the box just because they're going to have no spacing with Eric Bledsoe. And it's going to be Zion and Steven Adams in the middle. It's going to be interesting. They're going to be good on defense. I'm not sure where all the offense is going to come from.
Zion.
Yeah. And then Atlanta, they brought in a couple shooters to give Trae Young some help with Danilo Gallinari and Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Did they give Trae Young any help on defense, or is he still gonna suck?
No,
at that?
they're just relying on DeAndre Hunter, I think, to do that. But I don't think I think they're still probably an 8-9 seed with that team around them. Clint
That'll be
Capella is
interesting.
probably the best defense down low. John Collins, I'm surprised the Hawks actually didn't trade him because probably Gallinari's off the bench on this team.
yeah, they're an interesting young team to definitely keep an eye on. Definitely a future team that could be higher up in the ranks in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they'll definitely need a second star alongside Trae. You'd have to think, but
Yeah, and you got veterans like Rajon Rondo on there to help the young guys come along.
Right.
Sure.
That'll be good also. I think Young and Rondo actually could fit well playing together.
Oh yeah, with Young at more of with Young as more of just a pure scorer.
Yeah, and I think also Rondo's perimeter defense would provide some help as well at the guard. I think you can kind of hide Trae Young's defense against a weaker shooting guard if need be.
Yeah, exactly.
But a team like Washington, if they have Westbrook and Beal, I think they would provide a lot of issues for a team like Atlanta, who would be much slower on wing on perimeter defense. Are there any rookies or acquisitions that you think would probably be the most impactful going forward, or one you're going to keep an eye on? Either one we said or haven't said yet.
I mean, I think the one I think the one that a lot of people are going to be watching is Patrick Williams in Chicago, because that's the Bulls that's the Bulls drafting someone with the 4th overall pick who didn't even start in college. So I mean, I think everyone's like, oh, that's surprising, and so hard not to keep your eye on that one.
It's very indicative of how shallow this draft class really was.
Oh yeah. Watch this get brought back up 5 years later when 3 of these guys are superstars. I don't think there's a superstar in this draft class.
I don't think so
Like,
either.
I would be shocked if there was.
There's a
I think
super
if there
name in
is,
LaMelo Ball.
I think if there's a superstar, I think he's going to come after like the 9th pick. I think it's going to be a developmental all-star.
Oh,
Like
probably.
maybe like a Devin Vassell of San Antonio, just a
Yep.
really good 3-and-D guy who might become like one of those like best second options or third options on a championship team, but not a scary player.
The Spurs have had good player development for basically
Yeah.
as long as Popovich has been there, which feels like ever at this point.
Yeah.
Because he's the GOAT.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing on both sides what Montrezl Harrell meant to the LA teams. I think the Clippers were tired of him. I think chemistry-wise, the bubble, he was kind of controversial playing on and off the court. And so I'm interested in seeing what the Lakers are going to do with that, how LeBron's going to put him into shape, what Anthony Davis and Montrezl Harrell playing together will look like. And then also seeing if Ibaka, what he brings to the table was actually more of what the Clippers wanted. Him and Kawhi Leonard were together in the championship Toronto team. So I think that Clipper culture that I think Kawhi Leonard wanted to go to when he signed, I think that's going to be something that he's going to want to try and bring in. Will that be as impactful? Will it not make a difference? I'm just interested in seeing how that will look.
Yeah. Not to like get ahead of ourselves a little bit, but I do think that if the Clippers are actually going to contend, they need Paul George to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Not that this is any in-depth, insightful analysis.
I mean,
all you have to do is look at Twitter during the playoffs, and they'll be.
Yeah. And then Kawhi Leonard didn't show up game 6 or 7 against the Nuggets second half. He was shooting 20% each game. I think Kawhi Leonard is more of an inside offense guy. I think having Ibaka at least be able to shoot some threes will allow him to drive the lane more. So that could be something that could help.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to be able to make a running at the Lakers or the Warriors in the West?
I think the Lakers are still a team to beat by a pretty healthy margin.
Yeah.
But I think the Clippers are now building a roster that is meant to beat Los Angeles. Yeah. And I think one thing that they noticed was in a lineup with LeBron being the primary ball handler, having 2 true wings, and then having a big man duo, whether that's Anthony Davis and Marc Gasol or Montrezl Harrell, having 2 of those 3 guys on the court. The Clippers didn't have guys who they were with guarding those, because you're going to have Kawhi and LeBron.
Yep.
Paul George is probably going to guard one of the true guards because he's not going to guard a big.
Yeah, he can't guard. He's too small to guard bigs.
And then their bigs, I mean, the guys that had guarding bigs were like Marcus Morris, who was good. He's still there. And then Ivica Zubac, who was not going to help them at all. He's still going to be on the team, but he's not going to be relied on to guard any bigs. But at least when you have Davis and Gasol on the court for Lakers, you can put Zubac on Gasol and you can put Ibaka on Anthony Davis. And I think as the Clippers, you're not going to be sweating about that.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we've just about talked NBA offseason news to death.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we move on? Move on from basketball?
Yeah, we can move on to whatever we want now.
Move on to some kicking.
Yeah.
Some kicking.
We love some kicking.
We do love kicking.
Yes.
Across the 3 of us, we have what? 3 collegiate kicker relatives?
Yeah. I got 1.
I've got the other 2. So
I got none.
Pair of punters in my family.
I got 1 good right leg. And it's not mine.
It's not his.
Yeah.
Not his. Yeah. So yeah, kicking, collegiate kicking specifically. Sarah Fuller made some pretty serious history last weekend. She became the first woman to kick or play at all in a Power 5 college football game. She managed just 1 kickoff for Vanderbilt.
It was a pretty well executed squib.
It was a good squib. It did not go very far. But still, history made their 3rd woman ever to appear in a college football game.
Yeah, it doesn't even really matter the result of like what happened when she came to the game. It's just the fact that she came into the game at all.
Yeah, and I mean she will still have a chance to kick again because Vandy still has games left this season.
The Georgia game was postponed.
Georgia game got postponed. Yeah, it would have been tonight. Would have been.
I think there's still 1 more.
Yeah, I
if
think
I'm not
Vandy's
mistaken.
got at least one more game.
I'm pulling it up right now to see what that
Cool.
looks like. Week 15, they have against Tennessee at home, which would be cool.
Yeah.
That should be a game that should present more opportunities offensively for her.
Yeah, I think that was the one thing
And then
I saw.
Georgia got pushed to week 16.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing a tweet last weekend where everyone people were getting excited. Sarah Fuller possibly going to get to kick a field goal in a Power 5 game, and then someone tweeted, yeah, none of us really considered the fact that Vandy's offense might not get to field goal range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has Vandy ever been good at football?
They weren't bad when they had James Franklin as their coach.
I was gonna say I can't remember a time when Vandy was good.
Yeah, I mean, my sister went to Vanderbilt, and I've heard nothing but bad things about their football team.
They've had 3 single-digit losses this season. They lost to Texas Tech by 5 opening weekend, and they lost by 7 to Mississippi State and by 3 to Kentucky. But across the board, against arguably the weaker half of the SEC, they have not been performing.
Yeah,
I mean,
they got
0-8.
flacked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just honestly, I felt like I honestly feel kind of bad for Sarah Fuller because she got one opportunity, and kicking is not as easy as it looks, as obviously we saw. And of course, the internet being the internet, bunch of people latched onto that and were making fun of the kick. Which, by the way, if you do that, you're not funny or cool.
No.
Yeah, I honestly felt bad that she didn't get another chance to kick it. But at the same time, I think any expectations of her booming 80 yards out the back of the end zone was probably a little bit unrealistic.
She was the goalkeeper, right? For
Yeah,
Vanderbilt
she's
soccer.
Vandy's women's soccer goalkeeper. Yeah. She tried out for the team, so like this was not a like emergency. We need the first person available. Oh, grab her because she plays soccer. She can kick. This is a situation where she earned this spot. So
right.
It did feel kind of bad that she didn't get to show off a little bit more.
Speaking of like uncool and unfunny people on Twitter, I saw some.
There are a lot of them.
It's all of Twitter.
Hey, I'm on Twitter.
I'm also on Twitter.
Right, same here. Go follow what is it? And at Henry Jones 98.
Wow! Shameless plug.
It's in the description.
Gotta get the clout.
Plug. Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
I'm not.
At Henry Jones 98.
I'm not putting it in the description.
We're actually just gonna put Ryan and I's Twitter in the description and not Henry's because he did that.
No, yeah. Screw you.
We all want the clout. Come on now.
Speaking of Twitter, I saw a bunch of people saying, why didn't they grab a guy from the men's soccer team? Does it take not like 5 seconds to tell you that there's not a men's soccer program at Vanderbilt?
It does not exist.
It takes one Google search, which is more than people on Twitter have time for.
It's more characters in the brain cells, we know.
Yeah. Anyway, good for Sarah.
Yeah.
Great accomplishment. Hopefully we'll get to see more women who are, especially women who are passionate about playing football, getting opportunities in the future. If you're on the internet and think that making fun of people because they had one bad moment in a game is funny, you're wrong. Stop doing it.
Also, if you think you could do better, please go out there and try.
Yeah, please. Please try. Please,
dude, I don't care how big my feet are. I wear a size 14 shoe. I sure as hell am not kicking a football that far. Like,
I don't know if a size 14 shoe actually helps you kick a football.
I was gonna say
it's all about coordination.
That's a lineman size,
and I do not have that coordination.
No, I know, like, just based on how much my cousin, who has to do to practice kicking, he went off a torn ACL one of his years in college. It's a lot. Like, it's an underappreciated position, both kickers and punters. Punters are people too, Eric.
Punters are people too.
Yeah, you literally have one job, and if you mess up at that one job, then everyone hates you.
Yeah.
Flashback to the Bears kicker in the playoffs. However many years ago, and everyone hated him.
I remember.
Speaking of people being terrible on Twitter,
I remember Katie Nolan had a video that was up about, it was at the Super Bowl Fest, having people try to kick a field goal the same length of Cody Parkey's when he was on the Bears, and everyone, like, I think one person, Charlie Brown, did, like, just didn't even make contact with the ball and fell.
I'm pretty sure she retweeted that video this weekend because people were being nasty about this.
I didn't look to see, but like, if she did, great job on her part.
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Like, silver lining in 2020, we've had the first ever woman come into college football.
Well,
and
not
same,
first ever in college football.
It's best
Power
conference.
5.
Yeah, and a Power 5 in the same
Yeah.
2-week span as Kim Ng, hired by the Marlins to be first ever female GM in Major League Baseball history.
About time she was named one. She's
Yeah,
probably the
she's
most qualified candidate.
Got rings on rings
each of the
on
last
rings.
10 years.
Yeah.
Every year she's been with the Yankees, she won a ring.
Just as many rings as A-Rod.
Yeah, that's
More rings
impressive.
than A-Rod.
Hey, there we go.
She got 3 in New York in 3 years she was there. None of them with A-Rod. And then
more rings than Clayton Kershaw too.
Yeah, and then she got she didn't get any rings for being with the Dodgers, but she helped with their player development that got them Clayton Kershaw and started building that strong end of the early 2000s run that they had where they almost made the World Series like in 08 and 09. So she's had the resume to be where she is now. And I'm Derek Jeter, who was familiar with her in New York, happy that he was able to bring her on.
Yeah, it's super fun. The Marlins could use a turnaround too because they have sucked.
They made the playoffs. They made the playoffs with 20 guys going down with COVID this year.
I already forgot they did.
The first time they're probably going to be bad again next year.
They were like our second favorite baseball team for so long, and we forgot they made the playoffs.
That was the first time they ever didn't win the World Series while making the playoffs.
Yeah, true.
They still haven't won in the division.
That's my favorite. That's got to be my favorite. One of my favorite baseball stats of all time.
The Marlins have never won again, at least. Well, they've won 2 World Series.
I was gonna say them being undefeated in postseason appearances until
and then
is also a fun one.
Each year after they've won the World Series, they've immediately been terrible.
I know they've
lost
like
over
collapsed.
100 games.
Yeah.
Shout out to Don Mattingly for hell of a
manager of the year.
Manager of the year for the National League.
Yeah, good for him. Great job there.
Well done.
Yeah. Actually, so speaking back to Sarah Fuller a little bit. Speaking about interesting substitutions because of 2020 and COVID, this actually segues into one thing that I want to talk about that probably fewer people have seen, and it is neither the kick nor the ball section of the Kickball podcast. I want to talk about F1.
Driving
about Formula One. There have been a ton of substitutions, like emergency driver replacements. A bunch happened this weekend. But to be fair to these guys, I'm not going to like yammer on and on about that because I didn't want to give them like 20 hours of homework to try and be caught up and be able to discuss this.
I just watched Talladega Nights 5 times last night. This is for this one section.
Good for you.
I clicked both links in the Google Sheet. Don't worry.
And then just immediately closed out the window.
Before you go on, I'm surprised I even saw F1 news on the ESPN bottom line this week because I think that's the first time I've seen that in years.
Wow. I didn't even know it was on the ESPN bottom line. So shout out maybe to ESPN for covering F1. It's a cool sport.
Or the one tech guy who sneaked it in.
Yeah. Shout out to the one ESPN intern who got that on the bottom line. Good on you. I actually want to talk about something that happened last weekend. I showed these guys the video. It was a pretty serious crash. So last weekend was the Bahrain Grand Prix, and there's a pretty bad crash involving Romain Grosjean, one of the drivers. His car spun. It crashed into one of the barriers at the side of the track, split in half, and exploded into a giant fireball. Really ugly crash. Thankfully, because of a whole bunch of safety protocols, Romain Grosjean was able to get out. He was largely unharmed. He spent a couple days in the hospital. He's got some burns on his hands, and I think some sort of foot injury because I saw a video of him walking in a boot. But as far as we know, it's all pretty minor, and he might actually be able to drive in the season finale next weekend. So that's super cool for him. Obviously, great that he got out of that alive and largely unharmed. But what I wanted to talk about is afterwards, another driver, Daniel Ricardo, had some pretty intense comments on the way that it was covered. He didn't like the number of replays that the broadcast showed of the crash. He said all we need to know that it was that he was okay, and then move on. And we've all watched sports. We've all seen moments, sort of scary moments in a game where someone gets injured or like that. There's a big crash. So I want to talk about like how should we cover that? Like,
Do we show the video?
Is there a right way to like
I don't know.
show like injuries and scary moments like that? Because obviously you want to be able to obviously the analysts on TV want to be able to provide context to the audience, to be like, okay, here's what just happened, here's why it happened, this, that, and the other thing. But at the same time, that's pretty ugly, and you don't always want to be like showcasing these ugly sides of things.
I think. Go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, I mean, they showed Dak Prescott's injury a couple weeks ago in the Cowboys game. They showed Yusuf Nurkic's ugly injury a couple months ago with the Blazers. So it's like, is it the same thing?
I think one thing that, like, especially in F1, where I feel like there's, like, even NASCAR, where it's a crash and you don't necessarily see the body, I think the money makers, the producers, they see that as a way that they're allowed to sensationalize, where like they're trying to get viewers to go on. And I think there are some people who are like watch the races casually and they find the crashes to be interesting.
Yeah. No, I remember
yeah.
I remember it being a joke for a long time. I think it still is, that like people only watch NASCAR for the crashes.
I think people buy the NASCAR the video game just for the crashes.
Oh, that they definitely buy NASCAR the video game for the crashes. It's like how people buy the NHL video game just for the fighting.
Yeah. So like, unfortunately, it's how a lot.
I hope NHL people don't get mad at us for that.
I mean, hey, we played that NHL video game and we fought each other.
Oh yeah,
we're no different from the rest of the crowd.
We just beat the crap out of each other in that game.
Well, I think where I was going with is it's not that they want to show it because they need to show the same angle 30 times, but I think they want to keep people engaged.
Yeah.
And I think it's to a fault where that's not the line where you need to go. I think it's different perspective for someone who's never driven a car 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly, right.
I haven't, will never, hope to never.
Yeah.
Farron, if you drive a car 200 miles an hour, I'm not riding with you.
I don't think Ryan has a car that can go to.
I don't know if I can trust you driving 60 miles an hour.
I'll see you in January. But yeah, it's hard when, like, especially in a crash that causes delays, to show if there's nothing going on other than the crash or him getting out of the car, him being put in an ambulance.
Yeah. I mean, that is tricky because like this was lap 1 of the race, and the race immediately got red flagged. So there's not even they're not even driving around the track at that point. All the cars are stacked up in the pit lane. All the drivers have gotten out. There's nothing going on. So yeah.
So it's just one of those things where it's just like one of those things like where you probably should look away, but like you can't. Like you are too interested in like what's going on, and it only makes sense for the F1 television producers to show you what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's nothing else going on, and they want to know. They want to know if the driver is okay.
Yeah. You have two options, really. Like off the top of my head, you either show what has happened, hoping that you just didn't showcase a life-threatening, career-threatening possible death on the screen multiple times, or you go to like your studio audience. With COVID, there's really not much of a studio audience all the time.
Right.
A studio broadcast, and then you're going to probably have a lot of viewers leave because you don't know when you're going to show the race restarting. And yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be a lot of producers are like, we're going to keep showing this crash because we're going to probably have to assume that people are going to leave if we stop.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
When we start the race again, who's going to be watching? It's only going to be the people who are diehard enough to want to keep watching.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they lose a lot of money from people from millions of fans that immediately turn to another channel.
Yeah. And that's probably the main root of it all. It's the producers want money, and I think it's the root of both things I said. The crash brings the viewers in, and keep showing it, it's going to keep them still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
about money.
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, I think I sort of side with Daniel Ricardo on this one. I don't like that you show a crash a bunch of times. Especially because F1's a sport where drivers have died in the past. In crashes, so it's always tough. And like even they knew he was okay, right? He got out of the car just fine. But yeah, it is tough because obviously, it's more than just. It's about more, whether we want it to be or not. It's about more than just showing people the race. It's about making money.
It was about the interest. It was about the intricacy of like all the camera angles, and they couldn't show you just like one time. Like they had to show you from like 10 different angles.
Yeah.
Like they went above and beyond to show it in different graphic ways.
And I think the producers, like in an F1 type of realm, it's very rare for like a bone injury of a basketball player. I'm thinking Kevin Ware from Louisville 2013.
Oh,
That's not an injury that you're going to show all over and over again because for obvious reasons people don't want to see it.
Yeah, that stuff gives me the heebie-jeebies.
What's the line on a car crash where you don't necessarily see the person, but you see the explosion?
Yeah. Like, what if like he came out and he had like skin marks like all over his body from like the flames, like terrible burns. So, but I mean, fortunately, he was okay. So
fortunately, he was okay.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, great to see that he was okay from that. Glad that he's out of the hospital. Hopefully, that will not be his last. Hopefully, that will not be his last moment in F1. He'll be able to get into the car again. Hopefully by the end of the season. Hopefully by before he calls it a career.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna take a quick break and reset our recording really quickly, and then jump back into our next section.
And we're back. Right now, we're going to be heading into some NBA City jerseys that have come out recently. We got our tier list here, and we're just going to be going through them all and then kind of deciding what we think are the best on the S tier, worst toward the F tier. So we're going to start right here. These are the Hawks jerseys inspired by Martin Luther King. And cool thing about these jerseys is it has Martin Luther King's signature here on the bottom, as well as proceeds from the sales of the jersey will go toward economic empowerment for communities of color in Atlanta. This is, I think, one of two jerseys. I think Portland's is the other one that has proceeds going toward communities involved, where Portland's would go toward Native Americans. So,
okay.
Does anybody have any like immediate reactions toward the jersey?
I actually really like this jersey.
I do too.
Nice, classy jersey. I like the gold trim. I think it looks pretty solid all around.
I do too.
I'm indifferent towards it in terms of like the aesthetic appeal, but good societal cause. So
it's definitely not anything flashy, but
I'm leaning A tier. If anyone has any objections,
I would have put it B tier.
I was gonna say B tier as well.
Okay, I'll put it in the B.
Right.
The next one is Boston Celtics. This one is inspired by their banners that they use for the championships. So they look very similar. That's how they do it. And I don't necessarily think the jersey looks spectacular, but I understand based on the inspiration, they couldn't have done anything else.
It looked kind of clunky. And also after the banner, that's a little pretentious. God.
Dude, they have a lot of championships.
Did I take off my Red Sox cap? I'm not even a Celtics fan.
Do they either have the most or they're tied for the most?
I was going to say, I think they have like 18? I don't want to say that.
I just don't remember if the Lakers tied this year or they were one behind.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's a really cool concept. I just think it's unfortunate that the jerseys don't look that good. Yeah. They look like practice jerseys to me.
They literally just added the word Boston to it.
Unfortunately. Yeah, it's not anything special.
Let's put it in C.
I would say D.
I was going to go D.
Oh,
that's a D tier jersey for me.
Yeah.
It's a really cool inspiration. It looks like a practice jersey.
Yeah. Next is Brooklyn's. I think this one might be one where we all have different opinions on this. This was inspired by Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was a graffiti artist in Brooklyn, similar to other jerseys they've done in the past where They are inspired by Brooklyn artists, so they've done Notorious B.I.G. for one of them. This
I
one,
think they've done a couple of Biggie jerseys actually.
yeah, but this one is they got like Brooklyn Nets in graffiti, and they've got like the paint designs here. They have a crown next to the NBA logo.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this jersey. I would probably say B.
I love the paint, that paint
Yeah.
trim on the side.
I do too.
The font, man.
It's supposed to
don't
look like it's supposed
What's
to
the
look like
bracket?
I don't
Like,
look like the I
that's
don't
it's
like
the
the
style of
font.
his graffiti. He's done
Yeah.
works that have like kind of like these shapes and designs and colors.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool inspiration. I think it's really well
Yeah.
inspired. It's just I don't like the font.
Yeah, I mean I get that.
I'd
know
go
like
C.
I would put it C tier.
okay.
I don't think it's better than the Hawks jersey, or I
Yeah.
don't even think it's as good as the Hawks jersey.
I already know
Close.
one jersey that's gonna be in superior term
Close.
or the superior tier.
Here's Charlotte's.
I think I told Ryan. I think I told you earlier this week. I love this jersey.
I do too. This is inspired like mint and gold because mint is because Charlotte's a big banking city. The gold is for they had their own gold rush. I learned Carolina had a gold rush. I thought it was only out west here. And
Yeah,
then
today I learned.
they have these granite pinstripes along with the gold. Granite is the state rock of North Carolina. Inspiration, I'm questioning. I love the jersey though.
Yeah, inspiration questionable. Great jersey. It has resulted in.
Yeah.
Good.
I think this is
jersey.
a top 3 or 4 jersey for me. If anyone has any objection to that.
Right now, I would say put it S tier. I'd have
Okay.
to I might knock it down.
I don't know if it's there. I was
I was
I'd
gonna
be-
go A.
I'd be open to okay. Let's put it A.
The only reason I
fine
don't
with
think this
that.
is S tier is because I think Gordon Hayward wouldn't look good in it.
Okay, that's fair.
If
I don't-
anything, he makes that jersey better.
Okay, well he's great playing.
He's a handsome man.
I don't know how he's gonna look very pale in that jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. I the only reason I wouldn't put it S tier is that I don't know how I feel about the rest of the jerseys yet.
Okay. Chicago. This one is inspired by the architecture of their city and architect Daniel Burnham, who was a big part of helping Chicago after the fire in the 1800s. So
Okay.
they've kind of got some like Chicago theater type of inspiration here.
Yeah, I kind of like the font. I think it looks
Yeah.
somewhat interesting.
Yeah, I
think
do
it's
like the
cool.
font.
I could picture this being a jersey that people would enjoy wearing, but doesn't look good on the court.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure how
It
it's
kind
gonna
of
look on
goes
the court.
against
Yeah.
their traditional colors.
True.
Yeah. Well,
I
like,
think it's.
Yeah, I was gonna go C.
I think it's very similar to the Hawks.
Okay.
The
I'd
Hawks
pro-
jersey. I would say B. I would put it B tier
Okay.
with the Hawks jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we're gonna go Cleveland. I'm gonna first. I think Henry likes the inspiration.
Oh, Henry's gonna love the
rock and roll
inspiration
guy.
for this one. I remember this.
So aside from the C, all the letters of this Cleveland jersey have something to do with a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
Wait, is that based off the Wall
Pink-
album from Pink Floyd?
the D is the D from Pink Floyd.
Oh, that's
You've
cool.
got the V from the David Bowie. You've got Nirvana. I believe Nirvana is one of these 2 letters. And then I'm going to show the court real quick. No, that's Charlotte's. So this is the court that comes with it, which makes me hate the jersey a little bit.
Ooh.
That's
I already
is it
wasn't.
gray?
It's
Yeah.
gray.
It's gray.
Why?
Because it's inspired by the iconic Record Rendezvous storefront.
Looks dark and depressing.
Here's the thing.
It's like
I
Cleveland
wasn't.
Cavalier basketball.
I mean, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
it's pretty on brand.
See, here's the thing. I already wasn't super sold on this jersey, and like that court has made it worse.
The jersey kind of looks like they took like letters out of like an article and just like made a scrapbook out of it. They just
They've-
like attached it and just slapped it on a jersey.
They've called this the ransom note jersey.
Oh god.
I love
Oh,
the
no.
idea. I just don't think it actually showcased the rock and roll.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's too subtle, honestly.
I was
I
gonna
think
go
it's a. I
D.
think you're gonna go D. I would have
I'm gonna
given it an F for that. With the court with the court included, it's an F.
I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little generous here, and I would go C. So maybe we just go D.
Okay.
Let's
right in the
average it
middle.
out and go D.
Yeah.
let's just let like one team rule the F tier, and I know who
Yeah.
I'll put in there.
I mean, it's a cool. To give credit to Cleveland, it's a cool idea. I just think they executed it really poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Dallas's.
I love those.
This is a 10th anniversary of the 2011 championship team, as well as.
So it's not a Real Madrid tribute because that's where they got their star Luka Doncic from.
No, and then the Pegasus wings are very similar to why they were called the Mavericks.
Oh.
Is Pegasus is a big nod to the city of Dallas for whatever reason. I love the jersey. I mean, okay, maybe I like the jersey so much because of how bad Dallas has done making other jerseys.
Dallas's other city jerseys have sucked.
Dallas's everything jerseys have kind of sucked.
This is the first Mavericks jersey in quite some time that I have liked.
Yeah. I'm on the border of A and B because I feel like I'm giving Dallas.
I'm not sure if I'd put it A, but if you two are going A, then I'll say sure.
I like it better than the Hornets one, so it's got to be A.
Okay,
if
sure.
There's too many teams on the A tier, I might vouch to move it down to B.
Yeah.
But
I can't help but make the Real Madrid connection because it's white and gold. It's the same.
Ironic that
it's the same color.
Ironic that in the video, Kristaps Porzingis was the model. Here is. Maybe fortunately because of this jersey, the last of the Skyline series.
Whoa, was that some smack talk? Were you smack talking?
I don't. This looks like a ripoff of Utah.
It does look like a ripoff of Utah's jersey, but you have to remember that Colorado and Utah are like the same landscape.
Yeah, I know. I loved the other ones. I love the original rainbow. I like the black one. The white one from a few years ago I thought was cool. I'm not a fan of the red.
I actually love this jersey.
Okay.
I think this looks great.
But me saying that, I'm making it sound like it's an F tier. I was going to go C. So if you go like A, I'm not going to be.
I was going to go B.
I would have probably gone A. I really like this jersey.
I can put it on B for.
I guess we'll go B if that's because that's the average of it, I guess.
Yeah. Detroit.
This is kind of vanilla to me, honestly.
It looks like a rip-off Pacers jersey.
So,
because the Pacers have that thing with the circle around there. Yeah. It's like
this is meant for, I guess, that a lot of the logos for Detroit, for autos are like this
circles, yeah,
like the circular design. To me, this looks like a soccer crest enlarged.
It kind of does. I was gonna say it would look really good as a T-shirt, but I think without the sleeve, for some reason, it being a jersey and not having sleeves makes it look weird to me.
Yeah.
Like I think this would look better on something with sleeves.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think of this?
I'd go C.
I'd go C.
I was gonna
go D. I don't because I don't think I can actually say that I like it any more than the Celtics jersey.
To me, this is like a bottom 3. So for like in terms of jerseys, Golden State. We've got the
good.
Rip Klay Thompson, not because he's dead. But like,
whoa, careful!
Whoa, he's not dead.
Breaking news: Klay Thompson is dead.
He's gonna be
confirmed by the Kickball podcast.
Oh my god!
He's gonna be John Walling.
I hope
he's gonna be missing 2 years of basketball.
Oh yeah, he is. Really unfortunate for him.
This is inspired in look by the jerseys they wore in the early 2000s, or Steph Curry's rookie year, and then the year they beat Dallas.
Sick, by the way.
Loved these jerseys, and then they're paying tribute to Oakland somehow by having
despite the fact they just bailed and went to San Francisco.
Yeah. Here's the court that'll come with it. I didn't show the sideline because this video doesn't actually show it, but this looks like a Looney Tunes thing.
It kind of does.
Yeah, I can see.
I don't hate it though.
Oh, I don't hate it. I love the jersey though.
I love this. I'd put it S tier, honestly.
I was gonna put it.
I'm not going that far.
It's my second favorite jersey. If the rule is we can only put one at S, I can't then put it there. But I think it's.
Are we saying the rule is we can only put it one at S though?
No.
There can be multiple S tier jerseys.
I'm willing to put S tier.
You're outvoted here, Henry.
I'm honestly not a fan of this Warriors jersey.
I think
I think it's kind of bland.
If we were ripping off Bar Down, you'd have to buy this jersey. But Where were you putting this?
Like, what was wrong with their current jersey? Like, I mean, their current jerseys are like,
Well, this is
Well, yeah.
I
This
mean,
is
they're
only for
still
a year.
keeping it. But
It's
like,
only
yeah.
for a year. Honestly, they should have never gone back to the old ones, the new ones.
true. I love this jersey. The site that we're on doesn't show the shorts that go with it. The shorts make it better, in my opinion.
That's true. I like them. Henry, where were you putting this?
Fuck, I guess B tier.
S. I think
S.
you're outvoted. You're
Are
outvoted
you
here.
kidding me?
It's
No
2-1.
way.
It's 2-1.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say Miami's in the S tier. There's no way they can be compared.
We're putting multiple S
You're
tier.
putting
Henry.
Miami on the S tier?
Absolutely.
We can put multiple S tier. We can fight about Miami in a little
Yeah.
bit. I also happen to really like Miami's jersey.
I also do. But I don't think
So-
it's an S.
So
It's
Houston.
good. I could be convinced.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
The light blue, Houston's city is light blue mainly. Also, Houston Oilers were this color, and Travis Scott made a shoe in the last year that was inspired by this color as well. So
I'm already slightly biased towards this jersey because it says H-Town, which is one of my nicknames at USD baseball. Shout out to USD pitching coach Matt Floor, our guy.
our guy,
Hope he watches this podcast.
I hope he doesn't.
You never know. You never
I don't
know.
think we've talked baseball once this podcast.
We have
and
not.
We talked about Kim Ang.
We
Okay,
did.
that's
We did.
true.
There was Kim
Oh,
Ang
yeah.
talk.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Okay, so back to the jersey.
hmm
I think it's really good. It just strikes me. I feel like this is more of a Chicago jersey. Because when I think light blue, red, and white, if you're telling me, oh, there's a city jersey that's light blue, red, and white, it's like, oh, is it Sacramento or Chicago?
Yeah.
Because honestly, like,
Yeah.
because you guys know Chicago's flag, right? It's
Yeah.
light
And
blue and
that's
white
what
with
they've
the,
done
with the
in
4
previous
red stars.
years.
Yeah, they've done it
I've loved all the
previously.
flag jerseys Chicago's done.
Yeah.
That white one that they had a few years ago is one of my favorite city jerseys of all time.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this really screams Houston to me. I do like the Oilers tie-in though.
Yeah, that was me. It's not what this says at all.
That wasn't what they were doing.
No, I just said the Oilers were light blue. I
I would give this a B.
was gonna say B, but I don't.
I'm outvoted, I guess. If you guys are saying B, I would have put it probably C.
Okay,
I don't
Well,
like
that's
it.
not-
It
that's not
doesn't.
that far.
If it's supposed to be representing the city of Houston, I don't think it does that. But
No,
I'm outvoted
to
here.
me, I thought it was more of a culture thing than a city thing. But I think
I
the
guess it is
blue-
reaching that point at this. At
Yeah, with Travis
this point in
Scott
time
stuff.
with with city jerseys.
Eric likes it for the name.
Yeah, shout out Dom Sabonis, former Gonzaga Bulldog.
Yeah. I love these jerseys. Inspired by the late 90s to mid 2000s. They reached the NBA Finals and lost terribly in this jersey. The Malice at the Palace was in.
This jersey.
The infamous
Yeah.
Malice at the Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these jerseys. I
would-
like the original better, but I think they're going to look really nice on court.
Pinstripes just make any jersey look better, except the Yankees.
Wow. I smell the bias, and I'm not
Wow.
even in this department.
No surprises there. An anti-Yankees take from the Red Sox fan.
I feel
You
like
know, I had to say
we're
it.
going to need a counter on every episode.
Yeah, can we get a counter the anti-Yankees?
Yeah.
What's going to hit 28? What's going to hit 28 first? Henry's anti-Yankees takes or the Yankees ring count?
With the pitching the Yankees have, I'm going to say Henry's counter.
All right.
Also, if we reach 28 episodes, I will call this a success.
Hey, there we go. There's a goal.
Subscribe so we're inspired.
Will we
I think-
have 28 followers by then?
I'm hoping we get 28 videos when we have more than 28 subscribers.
All right, we're on a bit of a tangent here. Henry brought up the Yankees and got us distracted.
Sorry, I apologize. I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we all like this jersey, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go A.
A.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll say A.
Let me be the Clippers fan and go ahead and say this. I don't like this jersey.
I'm not a huge fan either.
I didn't like the white one either.
I don't know.
I
I
liked
kinda
the white.
it.
I like the white one better than I
Yeah.
like this one.
I do
Black
too.
and white.
It's
And
a
it's,
clean jersey. To me, I think it's to the line of boring.
I don't know why I don't like it, but I don't.
It's inspired by Mr. Cartoon, who's a big artist. So, like, this is inspired by street culture, like the tattoo designs, Old English font.
Is that the same font as like the LA Times?
It's the same font as like GTA and LA Times.
I'm glad
every newspaper has
Henry,
Old
I'm
English.
glad I wasn't the only one who thought that, because I remember
mean,
when the first jerseys with this font came out last year, I was like, ooh, little LA Times font. It's
I
not, by
mean,
the way.
Oh, really?
Pretty sure it's not.
I mean, Old English
still looks kinda
theoretically
cool.
is. It's not the same.
It's very similar.
It's not the inspiration.
Yeah.
In terms of laziness, because they're just flipping the colors, as well as the fact I didn't like this jersey to begin with, I would say this is a D tier jersey.
I thought the white ones they did last year were better. I'll agree and put this D tier. I have no
I
problem
was
with
honestly going to say B. I even thought about A.
Oh my
that.
god!
I'll compromise and put it C tier.
I'll let it go C.
I'm fine.
My favorite jersey.
Oh, yeah, these are good.
This is the Lore Series Lakers jersey inspired by when they were in Minneapolis. So this is Elgin Baylor's Lore. And I've always been a fan of any time the Lakers have gone the blue route with their jersey. I just think it's clean. I think I'm just a sucker for the colors. And I don't know how this is going to look on a Lakers court, but I don't really care.
True.
This is a jersey I would buy, but I don't even like. I'm a Clippers fan.
Wow.
I don't know what
Really?
I'd probably get like Marcus Gasol or something, maybe like Dennis Schroeder, but like no,
one of the
Alex
obscure
Caruso.
players.
Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso. Do it for
real
the
MVP, Alex
culture.
Caruso. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. The more I look at these jerseys, the less impressed I am by them.
Okay.
Because like they look really good, but at the same time, it's kind of like I don't know. It just seems like a cool. It's a cool throwback kind of jersey, and I guess like city jerseys are less to do with the city now than they used to be when they first started. But I don't think I'd put this any higher than A tier. I'd probably go B. I'd probably say B tier on this.
I feel like all these city jerseys are trying to like put some sort of hint in there that people are supposed to pick up on, like, and like, oh, that little detail makes it nice, but like more than half the people don't get it. Like the
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, Henry. That's what most jersey design is about.
Yeah. Like each like I've kind of been saying like what each one of these mean as a way to be like, hey, there's a little bit of things here that like the jersey's not just a bunch of scribbles and letters. Like
yeah,
I'm kind of representing Brooklyn's. Like there's a reason behind it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes jerseys cool.
Yeah. And like
the
jersey only for 1 year, I think it's kind
fair,
of cool to do these things.
To be fair, I probably shouldn't be. I don't want to make it sound like I'm trashing on this jersey because the jersey that I'm wearing right now is the same concept as this one. It's It's like an updated version of a classic jersey.
Yeah. I don't know.
Shout out to the original Bruised Banana Arsenal kit, though. If you know, you know.
It's my favorite jersey. I'm going to say it's S, but I understand if you don't have it there.
Henry, what are you saying?
You guys go B.
I would also put it B.
Can I put it at A?
Well, I guess we're defining it.
Well, I mean, we can. I'll let you guys go B, but like, I'm just asking if it can go A.
Can we go B plus?
There is no B plus tier. We can compromise and go A. I'm okay with that.
I mean, it could go bottom tier A, but like,
it's a good look. It's a good looking jersey.
It's like an 89.999.
Okay, that rounds up in
like not even like an 89.93.
That does round up most of the
time. Memphis. This is inspired by Isaac Hayes. So it's cool.
Yeah, boy, here it comes.
Did you just put on the hat?
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did.
Of course he did.
Okay. Well, so it's inspired by like the Stax records. Isaac Hayes was big on social activism. It's not shown here, but the shorts have his like sunglasses like on next to like where the pocket would be, which is really cool.
Okay.
It's black with gold trim. I think these jerseys are clean. Memphis to me always does a really good job with these jerseys. I was a big fan of the black and just the regular black and white Martin Luther King jersey that they had in the first city jersey. What do you guys?
My one thing is the red Nike swoosh.
That probably has something to do.
That's a minute detail, though.
Yeah. I hope maybe who knows? Maybe like the sponsor logo that goes opposite of it is going to be red too, and it'll be fine. It just
there's
looks
a reason.
Weird.
I just couldn't find what it was.
Yeah, it looks a little out of place right now.
If it was gold, I would say it's S tier.
If it was gold, I would be like all aboard.
It might still be.
I still think this is S tier.
I'm willing to go S tier.
I was gonna go A tier, but I'm okay with S tier, honestly.
Henry was just gonna go A tier to make it sound like he's not biased.
So how long are we gonna talk about this jersey?
Right here is S tier. I love this.
Henry,
it is so Miami.
Here comes the Miami.
I just want to ask you a question. Would you wear this jersey?
To maybe like a party or something.
See, here's the thing. If of the three of us, this is Farron's style more than anyone else's.
Yeah, I know. It's loud. I'll give it that.
I would get a Duncan Robinson jersey.
Miami is loud.
You would.
Tell me this is not
a Bam Adebayo?
I have some bad news about this jersey, though. It's the last of the Vice series.
Oh. Okay, to be fair, they were running out of ideas. They were running out of possible Vice combinations because they went
black. They went with black, white, pink, and blue.
They've done all of the possible combinations I could have thought of.
Do you guys think this is S tier?
I think this is S tier.
I'm not sure if it's S tier.
I was originally saying
loud,
A.
But like the colors are amazing.
I don't have a picture of the court, but honestly, I'm gonna go S.
Thank you, Farron.
You're welcome. The court has the gradient pattern too, where half it's pink, half it's blue.
Oh, interesting. I hope it looks good.
I've seen like 2K stuff for it, and it looks pretty cool. It also doesn't look like the jersey's as bright as it seems to be.
Okay.
But it's also 2K. Next gen graphics are kind of bright.
Yeah.
This is Milwaukee's. Milwaukee is known as the gathering place by the water, so they decided to do some wave-like designs. So I guess they have the Milwaukee and kind of a diagonal to kind of make it look like it's floating. I don't really think much of this jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was grading just the jersey, it's whatever. The navy blue makes it better for me.
Yeah, I'm glad they add a third row on the shorts because otherwise there'd be a lot of that sort of middle blue.
Yeah. But as me, if I was to wear this, I don't get the navy blue.
I don't hate it. It's definitely one that I would consider buying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say maybe an A tier, honestly.
I was gonna go C.
I was gonna go B.
I guess we'll go B then, because that's the middle.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota, the North Star State.
Ooh.
So they got the North Star here. They've got the lime green to be inspired by Northern Lights. Stars along the sides of the jersey.
This reminds me of like one of the jersey. MLS jersey. I think is it the Timbers?
Sounders.
No.
It would be
Sounders. It looks like this, like a Sounders jersey.
It does. You're totally right. The Sounders, dude. The Sounders had a black and lime green alternate a few years ago that looks very similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
You're spot on with that.
I'm a fan of this. I mean, also because green is my favorite color. But I would go A tier.
I was gonna go.
When I first saw it, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now that I look at it more, I actually think it's pretty solid. I might go. I'm conflicted because I'm trying to think of if I think it's actually that much better than the Brooklyn jersey, and I don't think it is. So I would put it C tier.
Okay, I was also going C. Do we want to move it to B? Because I'm fringed BC.
Well, I'm outnumbered here apparently. So.
Well, yeah. I think
it's up. I think it's up to you, Ryan, to move it to B or not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it B.
Okay, I'll put it B.
Okay, yeah.
I have a hard time putting it in the same class as those Brooklyn jerseys.
I like how we've put nothing in F tier, by the way.
Oh, I have one.
We've decided that nothing is terrible enough for F tier.
I have two jerseys I'm waiting to put in F tier.
Okay, good.
This one might either be the worst or the best.
I personally really like this one.
I'm so conflicted.
So this is New Orleans, based around the flag. And it has the 3 fleur-de-lis. It has the red, the white, and then when you wear the shorts, it'll have the blue on the bottom. It's not blue shorts, it's blue on part of it.
Okay.
But
so
to me, this is I know Eric has a pet peeve of this. This reminds me of those jerseys that only have a logo and the number.
I actually really love this jersey. The one thing that I have a problem with is I don't think it's a basketball jersey. Like I could see this being like a hockey jersey. Like this reminds me of Sweden.
This reminds me of a Nordiques jersey.
This reminds me a little bit actually of Sweden's national team jersey because they have the 3 crowns on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what sells the jersey for me, honestly.
I really like this jersey though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd probably put it. I think it gives me the same vibes as the Dallas Mavericks jersey, so I'd probably put it on the same tier as that.
Okay. I was going to say B. So what did you guys put?
I'm good with B.
Sure, I'll give it B. That's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, the one knock for me is that it doesn't say like New Orleans or
It doesn't say
Pelicans or anything.
Yeah,
on it.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the flag of the city, though.
Yeah.
Here's my first F tier jersey.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
This is the Knicks.
It's
It's
so cheesy.
a collaboration.
The never sleeps.
It's a
part.
collaboration with Kith, and it's a black jersey with the black, blue, and orange gradient. And
Yeah,
this jersey looks like it was made by a 2K creator.
I'll say F tier. I'm not a fan.
D, but
F needs representation.
I
we
miss
need
the,
F here, so we might as well go with that one.
I miss the New York Fire. Do you guys remember like the first ever like the NYFD
Mhm.
city jersey? That was good. I think they've gone downhill from there.
Oklahoma City.
This reminds me of a
also not a
police
fan of
car,
these.
and I can't explain to you why.
This is Oklahoma City's. It's supposed to be like an homage to Oklahoma, whatever that means. It has Oklahoma across the chest, and it's supposed to be like something that says like leaning into innovation, unity, and state pride. And I don't see that at all in this jersey.
It looks like the design on it looks like it could be on the side of like an Oklahoma State Troopers car. Like it looks like a cop car to me.
Yeah.
I can't explain to you why, but it looks
This is
like a
The
cop
font, especially.
It's the font. It is the font.
This is F tier for me.
I was going to go D.
I'll agree, honestly, F tier.
Okay.
I don't like that jersey.
We've
I also
got-
don't like the Thunder.
We've got F tier jerseys. This is what we asked for.
Uh,
Orlando.
This
It's
is-
inspired logo-wise by the early 90s teams. Got the orange to represent the citrus industry, Sunshine State. This is the second time they've gone with that orange type of look in city jerseys.
Yeah.
I'm putting this one to D tier. I'm really not a fan of this.
I will also put this D tier. I don't
Cool.
think the orange.
It's way too bright.
I don't think the orange
orange.
pinstripes on the white look good at all.
We've got D tier. This one's Philly. I'm going to zoom in here.
Oh, right. The knockoff Nuggets jersey.
So Ben Simmons was promised to a black jersey for winning Rookie of the Year by the Sixers. So apparently this was his reward. These
That's a really-
the lighted houses
hold
on
on. No,
Boathouse
look
Row.
at the bottom right corner. Look at the bottom.
I am not actually kidding. It says it right here.
Yeah, he helped design it.
So this is a Boathouse Row light. Looks like it's a knockoff. I don't mind the jersey. I
was gonna say I don't want me saying it's a knockoff Nuggets jersey to be construed as me not liking it because I do actually like it.
It kind of looks like a Christmas sweater.
Sweater vest because it's sleeveless.
Yes, a Christmas sweater vest.
Well, thanks for that. You've ruined this jersey. You have that image in my head now.
I'm not a fan. I gotta go D tier.
Wow. I would say at least put it C.
I was going to say
It's
C.
not worse.
Why
it's
the
not
houses?
worse. It's not worse than the Nets. It's not worse than the Nets.
I was
jersey.
going to say C.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll go
honestly okay with that.
C.
Phoenix, the Valley.
I'm just not a
It's
fan of this one
got-
either.
It's a loud jersey for sure.
That's a no for me, dog.
It's got the Minecraft sunset. It's
It is. I mean,
yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
I like it.
I
don't like it a lot.
I originally loved it, and I don't seem to have liked it anymore.
Yeah, I like it, but not a lot.
Mhm.
C tier for me.
See,
Yeah. I think this is going to be one of the more memorable jerseys from the year,
Oh, for sure.
but that doesn't mean I'd ever want it. The Oregon Trailblazers.
I happen to know that there are some varying opinions on this jersey on the internet.
Yeah.
I've seen people who do not like this jersey on the internet.
Yeah.
And I happen to really like it.
I like it. It's a lot to talk about. So, like, the Oregon's that big sign that says, like, welcome to Oregon. That's the font there. It's got the colors that represent just the topography of Oregon, all that. The shorts kind of have, like, the mountainous kind of look to it. I like it.
I like
and then
it.
Also, I said earlier, there's proceeds that go to the Native American youth and the Family Center, which I think is a cool cause as well.
But
Yeah,
why say Oregon? Like, do you think you're extra special because you can name what state your city is in?
Wow, rude. One, they're the one team. They're the one team in the entire state. Okay.
Well,
I'm from
Portland,
Texas.
Maine.
It's like, I'm from Texas. We have 3 teams in our state.
Whoa! You come after me?
Yes, I'm coming after you. Us folks up in the Pacific Northwest. Sometimes we don't even get an
the
entire
Mavericks,
team
the
in our
Rockets, neither the Spurs put Texas on their city jerseys.
Well, it's because
that's because there's 3
Texas.
of them. The Trailblazers represent the whole state, dude. They're the one team. They're Oregon's team.
Doesn't make them that cool.
I love this jersey.
I'm giving it a B.
I'm honestly fine with B.
Sure. I like jersey. I actually don't think it's that good compared.
I think I'm happy we're kind of almost bell curving this, except C is completely underrepresented.
Yeah, we're getting a bell curve going.
Sacramento Kings. This is inspired by a set of 4 jerseys that have, I guess, marked their history. Powder blue in the 80s, the checkerboard of the 90s, the all-black road of the 2000s, and then the Sacktown lettering from the state jersey 2 years ago.
B.
With all of that inspiration, I'm disappointed they came with this.
I actually like this jersey.
Yeah.
Except for the Sacktown name. I don't like the name Sacktown. I know it's not their fault, but like
they can't do much else about it.
It's Sacktown.
I wish it said Kings.
I also wish it said Kings or Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you guys say? Did you guys say B?
I said B.
Yeah, I'll say B. I'll agree with you guys.
Okay.
So we extend the B tier.
The San Antonio Spurs, going back to the Fiesta merchandise that they had in the 90s. First time they're actually putting these on the court. Love the colors.
I don't like when jerseys have like diagonals running across them. I feel like that's always a recipe for disaster. So for that, this gets like a C for me.
I was going to go A.
Just diagonals, like just straight up don't work on jerseys at all.
Like this. I like this jersey. To be fair, I like it in concept more than I do in practice.
Yeah.
I think it's for some reason I don't like the script of San Antonio. I think they could have done better there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I want there instead of that, but I just don't like what's there.
It's better than their current font.
I might join Henry and say C.
Okay, I'll put B because I put A.
You're outvoted. It's C.
No, fine, front of C.
Wow.
The next one we have here is Toronto. Got a little bit more gold and black OVO. This time they're using the original Toronto font from the 90s, like purple, dinosaur designs. And then the shorts, you can't see it, but they have like raptor claws on it. I think this is a cool jersey. I think this is probably the one where it's like, if you buy it for fashion, I think this is the one where people would be most inclined.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
This isn't like, this is pretty similar to the one they did last year though, right? I feel like it is.
In theory. I mean, they've always gone with this color design, and then they've just kind of tweaked which design jersey they'll go from. But this is the first time they've gone like true retro with it all.
Cool.
Yeah. I think I'd be willing to say this is an A-tier jersey.
I was gonna say I was like measuring it up in my mind against the Charlotte jersey to decide if I think.
Yeah, it's got to be better than Charlotte, so probably A.
Oh, you think it's better than Charlotte?
I think it's
if you're up to me, I'd put Charlotte in B.
Okay, that's fair. No, so I think we're all agreed that this is A then, because I'd put it around the same quality as Charlotte.
Black and gold goes well together.
It does. That is true.
How about this black and gold-ish?
And red. And yellow.
So this is inspired by what they've never changed, the Red Rocks design. and this is the first time they've gone dark mode, as they've called it.
Bring back the Purple Mountain, cowards.
Is Red Rocks in Utah?
Yes, Red Rocks is in Utah.
Okay.
So they've gone, instead of the jersey that was all this red and yellow, they're trying to add the black to make it different. And I think this is pointless.
I agree. I just want to say, we were talking about Denver being a ripoff Utah Red Rocks jersey. Comparing the two jerseys from this year, Denver has made a better Red Rocks jersey than Utah has this year.
Yeah, I also think this looks like a Denver jersey.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely my least favorite Utah Red Rocks jersey. It's my least favorite Red Rocks jersey overall, including the Denver one.
I'm going D for this.
I would say D, maybe even F.
I was going to go B.
D.
I will say D. I think we're going to just outvote you on this one, Henry.
No, I think I'm going to say you went F, and then we're just going to go D.
I would say D, but still outvotes Henry.
Gray for gray's sake, as Uniwatch would say. The Washington Wizards jersey with the American.
They called it anthracite too.
This is
C.
I'm just gonna go F.
Generous. I was gonna go D.
Okay, I guess it's
too much gray.
It's gray for gray's sake.
They're calling it gray, but I mean, this is a very American jersey. It looks like a knockoff that you'd find on like AliExpress.
It looked when I saw the leaks of this a few days ago, I thought it was just a badly taken photo of last year's City jersey. I was like, that's not real. That's just a bad photo.
Mm-hmm. So,
but no.
If we have even counts, we're going D. So now here's the question. So we have jerseys here.
Do we want to move any of them first before we finalize this?
I'm willing to move Charlotte or Toronto to S.
If anything, for me, Charlotte moves down.
Yeah,
Henry doesn't like Charlotte's.
Yeah,
I just don't like it as much as y'all do.
I also think I also would vouch to move one of these two down to C.
I would move of Houston and Denver's. I would move Houston down to C before I would move Denver down. But I know you guys don't like Denver's as much as I do.
Yeah. For the most part, I don't mind where we put these.
Yeah, I don't either. I think the two that I would want to change is I would want to move three. I would want to move Chicago, Houston, and Milwaukee all down to C.
I'm fine with Chicago moving to C. Henry, do you have any requests for anything to be changed?
I mean, I kind of like Chicago where it is, but I don't really care either way. I would like the Warriors to go down to B tier, but I know that's not going to change. So
I don't know why you don't like. I don't get why you don't like the Warriors jersey.
It's just not very appealing.
All right, no. Okay,
like in comparison to the classic regular Golden State Warriors jerseys, like with the blue and the gold.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I think it sounds like
we're just
keeping things where they are.
It's very reminiscent of a time where the Warriors were very much an afterthought of the NBA.
Okay. So they look nice while sucking, so it's fine.
They look really cool. Yeah. They sucked, but looked great doing it.
So now here's the next question.
The only guy who looks good is Steph Curry.
He's been the model of this jersey.
Let's say he has been the model.
Yes.
Yeah. If you have to buy one jersey, regardless of fandom, what team are you getting? What player?
Oh, you have to pick a player too?
I mean, it's more fun if you pick a player.
John Morant, Memphis Grizzlies City jersey.
Okay. Wow, the Grizzlies fan picks a Grizzlies jersey.
Yeah.
Can't you tell?
To be fair, the Grizzlies jersey is really sick. And John Morant is a super cool player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I would get I mean, I don't really have a favorite player on the Heat. Somebody on the Heat, because those jerseys are fuego.
Bam would be cool.
Bam would be cool.
Oh yeah.
A few for me that I would think of getting would be like a Duncan Robinson Heat jersey.
It's so your style.
And then also like Trae Young and the Hawks, I think would be cool.
Yeah, the Hawks jersey is cool.
Yeah.
I might have to just get an H-Town jersey just for myself.
Any
just
player
wear
in
it.
mind?
Just wear it to the field one day.
John
Be
Wall.
like, what's up, Flo?
John Wall H-Town jersey. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yep.
Just to make sure your feet are good.
Buys a James Harden jersey. 2 days
Mhm.
later, he's traded.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, the amount of times I bought when I was younger, I really liked the Patriots. Sorry, I'm going off a tangent. When I was younger, I really liked the Patriots because they were my grandpa's team. And I owned who all did I own? I had a Wes Welker jersey. I had a freaking Aaron Dobson jersey.
May I ask why?
I don't know, dude. But yeah, I had a Wes Welker jersey, and then like the year after I got it, he left in free agency, and then I had an Aaron Dodson jersey, and he was like relevant for 4 games.
Yeah.
And that was when I stopped
That's like buying a
buying.
Jonas Gray jersey.
And that was when I stopped buying Patriots receiver jerseys. I was like, I'm just gonna stick with the Brady jersey from now on.
That's fair.
But speaking of jerseys and buying them, I think if I had to buy one, it's honestly between the Warriors and the Bucks jersey for me. And I feel like if I had to pick, I would get a Klay Thompson Warriors jersey. I love that jersey. Sick.
Unfortunately, he'll never wear that jersey.
True. Yeah.
That's fine. I have a Tatis Players Weekend jersey that he was injured during.
Yeah.
Tough.
But still, shout out Klay Thompson, go Cougs, former Wazoo Cougar.
Yeah. One of the good 4-year college basketball players.
Yeah, exactly. Repping my neck of the woods well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's our first episode. Does anyone
I think that's the end of
the wrap.
That's the end of episode 1 of the Kickball podcast. Only took us
like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter.
Hopefully it'll...
Are we going to say the same thing? Hopefully it won't take us 2 years to make the next episode?
I was going to say hopefully the next one will be out in less than 2 years.
Yeah, hopefully this
I was hoping less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where this takes us.
Yeah, exactly.
If we ended here, it was fun. No, I'm kidding.
Nice, Tonya.
Yeah, if you made it this far, shout out. Thanks for watching.
Over under 8.5 subscribers by the end of next week.
No, we're not going to talk about sub count.
I thought we were talking about videos we'll make.
We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See